Joshua Williamson and Paolo Pantalena force Deathstroke into hiding as the Demon Shadow continue to hunt down the assassin and his secret society for the murder of Ra's al Ghul. But Batman's involvement may just turn the tide in the Shadow War. Joshua Williamson continues the Shadow War event, but only barely, as this issue really didn't progress the story in any meaningful way at all. Our characters don't learn anything new or really even bother to investigate the initial mystery of who the fake Deathstroke was and why Deathstroke is being framed. Instead, Slade spends most of the time just standing around and hiding and asking his son who could the imposter be. The issue felt like the first half of a longer issue that was then cut in half to make more parts for this event, and I feel since Williamson is also currently doing the big Dark Crisis event, all his attention is over there and not here, since everything this issue was just so thin and resulted in nothing. Paolo Pantalena's artwork, however, is fantastic looking and a great companion to Howard Porter's work over in the Batman tie-ins for this event, as both their detailed and colourful styles and the way they do the action works really well together, and they complement each other, making it all look very consistent from book to book, which is a big thing for me, and I really like when artists do that. Deathstroke Inc. issue 8 was a really thin, almost plotless issue that didn't really push the story ahead in any meaningful way whatsoever, instead coming off like the first portion of an issue that was chopped up to make for a few more tie-ins for the story that was probably never meant to be an event to begin with. I'm going to give this issue a 4 out of 10. Deathstroke Incorporated issue 8 finds Angel Breaker demanding the defeated Raptor tell her where Deathstroke is, but the villain has no idea where his boss is, since why would Slade tell him? Angel says that Slade is going to pay for his actions as the rest of Talia's assassins track down Slade's secret society of supervillains, hunting them to the far corners of the earth. In San Francisco, a tour guide talks about a huge fire caused by an earthquake in 1906 and how much of the old city was destroyed and it can be found underground. As he moves the tour deeper into the catacombs, a man and his son divert away from them, entering a secret passage, as Slade tells his son that this was one of his bases he made in the city when the Titans had a HQ there, and he built it in a way that he could just restock his weapons and armor when needed. Removing his disguise, Slade tells his son of the food in the fridge, warning him of the expiration dates and that they'll be here for a long time while they figure out what's going on. He goes over the information he has, knowing that someone dressed like him killed Ra's al Ghul and they did it for a reason, wondering who the masked assassin is. Respawn soon finds his father's bladed weaponry, equating them to toys, but Slade knows that those are instruments of death and destruction and nothing that can ever take a life is a toy. Respawn jokingly asks if his father has ever killed anyone with an action figure, and Slade lets on he may have, as the boy spots target dummies made to look like the Titans. He whips a Shuriken at the Robin one, but Slade isn't impressed, throwing multiple Shurikens at the targets and hitting them all in their heads. Respawn thinks that was okay as the Shurikens explode, making him excited as Slade tells his son he's going to show him all the tricks. Respawn wonders if maybe if he cuts out one of his eyes he'll be better like his father, but Slade takes his knife, telling the boy that he doesn't want to be like him and he'll train him, but he didn't call himself the king of the supervillains to go on the run at the first sign of trouble, so he wants to regroup with his secret society first, and once they are set up properly, the boy will be trained. Respawn floats the idea that Talia could have killed her own father, and Slade considers it since he knows her well and she'll do anything to get what she wants. Talia meanwhile kisses Batman, who stops her, reminding her of Selina as the woman leaves, knowing that it was a moment of weakness and she must have been wounded more than she thought. Batman puts his mask back on, asking why Ra's was turning himself and her into the DEO, so Talia reveals that he's been rejecting the Lazarus Pit for months, and his mind was the clearest that it has been in centuries, and he wanted to share his knowledge with the world. Batman knows that something is missing in this equation, and Talia reveals it to be Damian, since she believes that he did this because of Damian, since the boy finally showed him that his legacy would live beyond him and that someone could change for the better, and she knows this because Damian showed her that as well. Angel Breaker returns with Raptor, offering the villain up to her master since he requested an audience before she slit his throat. Raptor tells Batman that his kid did a great job in the death tournament, revealing to Batman what Robin has been up to lately. Raptor knows that Talia is pissed about her father dying, but going on a killing spree isn't going to help her find Slade. Batman demands to know what Raptor is talking about, out, so Talia tells him of the demon shadow that she sent out to find Deathstroke and kill him and his friends. Raptor doesn't know where Slade is, so Batman wants to interrogate him, but knowing that he doesn't need to die, but Angel Breaker finds Batman's skills are weak and everyone knows he won't do what is needed. Ghostmaker told him that he has rules. Batman is surprised to hear that Ghostmaker is involved in all of this as Angel unsheathes her sword, knowing that she can make Raptor speak. Batman kicks the weapon from her hands, telling Raptor to run and demanding Talia call off the demon's shadow so he can find Slade himself, but Talia knows that Bruce cannot tell her what to do and never has been able to, sending her ninjas after the hero as Batman escapes the temple. Talia tells Angel to let him go and to follow Raptor instead, since he will try and warn Slade and lead them right to him. Slade and Respawn meanwhile play a card game called War, with Slade teaching his son how to play when they get an incoming call from Raptor, who warns them of Talia and her assassins looking for them. He knows that somebody in the society will give them up eventually and it's only a matter of time. On top of that, Batman is also after them, so Raptor warns him to stay hidden and stay wherever he is. Slade knows that now they'll be in the safe house even longer as the power is cut to the building. Slade doesn't think that it's possible since he's the only one who knows this place exists as the safe house doors open. Respawn dons his mask to take on whomever is coming through, but Slade demands he stop as Robin and Ravager arrive, telling Slade that he's going to pay for what he did.